Well, hello, and welcome to the Gorlitz High Performance Garage. And I didn't do a follow-up video on the Mercury. It did get painted. It turned out okay. I mean, it's nothing spectacular or anything. But I'm going to do a video on this pickup truck here. And I just want I want to know if anybody knows or can tell me what the problem is with this pickup. And don't say it's because it's a Chevy. That doesn't count. I'm having some issues here. Open the hood here. Okay. Alright, I'm having some issues here. We have some dead cylinders in this engine. And I'm going to go over with you what I did. And I'm not quite sure what the hell the problem is here. I've asked a couple different people, and a lot of them told me the same shit, but it's not, because I had an issue with this engine here. It would run for a little while and it would just shut off, and I'd have to wait a little bit and fire it back up and it would come home. I couldn't run it too far away from the house. Probably about a quarter mile is about all further it would run. It would shut down. I'd have to wait a few minutes, fire it back up, and bring it home and park it. And it did this continuously, over and over and over. And the engine would sound weird. It just didn't sound like a V8. It sounded like a six-cylinder or something like that, or a beefed up four-banger or some shit, you know. Then I found out. I let it run for 10 seconds one day, and it eventually just started doing that and making that weird sound. The engine just didn't sound right, so I fired it up and let it run for like half a minute, and I shut it off. And I took my hands and I felt the header tubes. Let me see. Number 1 and number 7 were hot. But number 3 and 5 were cold. And over here it's the opposite. 2 and 8 are cold. And 4 and 6 were hot. I couldn't put my hands on them, they were so hot. And I got one of these see-through distributor caps, and I couldn't really see in there if it was distributing any kind of spark to these wires. So I took one of the wires off, put a screwdriver in it, ran the starter, no spark. Took number 2, plug wire up, put a screwdriver in it, it would shock the shit out of you. So it's like it's doing this continuously. And an uncle of mine says, run yourself a jumper wire from the hot side of the battery to the coil on the distributor. So I did that. Same deal. Ran exactly the same. I turned the switch on, put a test light back there. The light was ultra bright. I didn't test to see how much voltage it was because I don't have anything to do that. And it does this continuously. It only runs on 4 cylinders, 2 on one bank, 2 on the other, and it's the same 2 over and over. Now, like for about 5 seconds, it'll run on all 8, and then those 4 will die, and it will be the same 4 firing again. And we're like, oh, you need to put a ground on there. Well, here's my latest ground wire. It's from the engine to the cab back here. And I have one from the engine to the frame. No change. No change at all. It has no power. It doesn't want to rev. It backfires out the tailpipes a lot. And I had people say, oh, the camshaft, the lobes are off. They're not. The cam is good. The cam has all the lobes. I pulled the valve covers off. There were no loose rocker arms. There's nothing there to adjust. I even put another distributor in it. Still the same occurring problem. And I have no idea what it is or what's wrong with it. And if any of you people out there that know anything about these old 67 to 72 Chevy pickups and small block Chevys and anything with electrical system, anything you can tell me, anything would be helpful. So if any of you can or care, leave a comment down in the comments section and let me know what you think or what you think it is. Because I have tested this thing from firewall to radiator support, and it's just the same bullshit over and over and over. And there's not a soul that can tell me what is wrong or what the problem is. Everybody says it's a grounding issue. But everything's grounded. I mean, and the alternator has nothing to do with it. I'm not real sure if it's even charging right because the volts gauge is kind of fucked up. It has an external voltage regulator, which is right there. I mean, it looks kind of rough, but I was told that has nothing to do with it. So your guess is as good as mine. If anybody has any tips or remotely even has had a problem like this, let me know, because the car or the engine is getting plenty of fuel. I can pull that fuel line off and it will blow fuel to the moon. And it's only firing on those 4 cylinders. So if anybody knows anything or has a tip, any comment is greatly appreciated. So I know it's what, the 2nd of October or some shit? I don't know. It's October, that's all I know. And the snow's going to be flying here soon in Garrett County, so I'm not in a big rush to get it running, but it would be nice to know that it's here. I even took it off my insurance policy because I had exhausted my efforts to get it to run. So if anybody knows anything, let me know, please. Have any tips for me, let me know. And all of you have a good one and have a great, safe weekend. And I'll catch y'all later.